So I first wanted to show you my body size because when I do my videos, it makes me look so much bigger because I do have such a large chest. I've had it all my life. Anyways, I'm a size 2. So this is my body. But like I said, I don't know if it's how I've been angling the camera or what's been going on. So this is my part 2 to dating since losing 179 pounds. If you watch my first one, you would know how it's going. It's kind of non-existent, at a standstill right now, by choice. Like I said, last time I was trying to date, I was in my 20s, early 20s. And now I'm in my late 30s and getting out there. So when entering this time, hearing like gas pedaling or lighting, show stopping, no, I don't know. But like those types of terms, I don't know that. I don't know what you're talking about. And I just think you're crazy. Like, he gaslighted you. Okay, like, huh? Like, oh, that's what he did. Like, who said that could even be a word? Like, who made that up was like bored as hell. Seriously. Like, I can't handle it. Like, I cannot handle it. So yeah, I think that's what I kind of attract. Like, I'm this person, I'm this way, have accomplished this, or this is what I want in life, and this is how I am, and then give them a chance, and then I find out they're nothing, the complete opposite of what they said. We always go to our comfort and people. Mine is, if I already know you, it's kind of more comforting, right? You already know someone, so you give that individual a chance because there's some sense of comfort. If you hear yelling, it's the kids outside, so it's just kind of how it is. So I got a message from a guy that I went to middle school and high school with. Is he my type? I wouldn't say necessarily like the type I've dated before, but there was a sense, like I said, of comfort, and it was like, give me a chance. Or at first he was like, let's just hang out, like let's just come watch a football game with me. And I don't know nothing about football, but I was like, okay, maybe this is like the stepping stone of going out and meeting new people. So when I went, like I said, a sense of comfort. Him and I laughed. It was, I knew him from beforehand. We did try to start talking. I don't think he was really over his ex-girlfriend. We like slept at each other's places once or twice. And then his excuse for getting mad at me or not wanting to talk to me is in the morning I didn't make coffee. Well, you don't have a Keurig machine. I don't know how to make coffee any other way. And that wasn't the reason. Just say you were not interested. But he had to do the crazy thing and be like, flip everything around and, make it seem like that was the reasoning behind it when really he took back his ex-girlfriend. So just say it, So that was kind of not gonna go since the beginning. But like I said, gave it a shot. And we were just so different. We're just so different. What else? There was this guy. I don't know if I talked about him in the first video. I don't think so, because I try to watch the first one to make sure I wasn't repeating the same things. He lived the town away from me. He messaged me, not even on a dating site, on Facebook. And he's like, we have friends in common. We, you know, like, hey, and I was like, hey, was I instantly attracted to him? No. He just knew a lot of people I did, and he was so nice, and so kind that I was like, oh my gosh, he was just like a little different. I don't know, there's something different about him that, and I liked all his bracelets that he had on his hand, that he wore, I mean, on his arm that he wore. I thought that was like really cute and different, and I was like, oh, you know. And he's like, I really want to meet you, and I was like, I will have 10 anxiety attacks. I was like, no, I'm too nervous, but I did. Came over, I met him, and he started the thing about it is, I wasn't even first attracted to him. When he seen me, and this is not even saying because I think I'm cute or anything like that, the look on his face was like how I want the person I end up with to look at me all the time. Or they'd have to look at me the way he looked at me when I first meet them, because he was just like, oh my gosh, you look like your photos, oh my gosh, you, and he's like, wait a minute, I just, hold on, wait a minute, and it was just cute, like everything about that, which I'll never tell him because he turned out to be a douche, was like so cute that I was like, oh my god, you're freaking cute, like how cute is this, like you're so excited to meet me. He ended up, I want to say that night, coming in. We just sat on the couch and we talked. That was like after talking, you know, on the phone and through Facebook and things like that. Then he started coming over once my kids went to bed, and we would hang out for like an hour, and we never did anything, we would laugh the whole freaking time, but he was so cute because he's like, just the way he looked at me was like everything. He asked me to go to his place, and I was like, okay, one time. And I did, and he was like, I'm so excited, like, I want this, I would want to date you, my friends are going to love you, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is so fast, but I'm one of those who's like, if it's love, it's love. If we just run away and get married, we run away and get married. If we, you know, whatever happened, love is love. You want Vegas? Freaking let's go to Vegas. You want, I don't know what else there is. To get a preacher, to come to the house. We're in love. Let's freaking bring them on in and let's walk down our doorway. I don't know. I'm one of those. So, anyways, I spent the night at his house, and we just talked about like being together and how his family would love me, this and this. And then I want to say after that, he was distant. He didn't want to hang out with me. He didn't want to see me. He was acting different, but he wanted to still call me and talk to me all the time. And I was like, why? Like, I don't understand what you're doing. Like, I don't understand. Like, did I say something? And we had never hooked up. But did I say something? Eventually he came out and he said, my mom, you know, was telling me maybe it's not a good idea because you have 4 kids and you do have an older daughter, and what if that gets in the way, and I shouldn't take on that responsibility. Well, no, number one, he's never met my kids. No one asked for him to do ish. And I think that was like the first time anybody's ever like, that was the first time that my kids were like a problem to someone, you know? And so that was hard because we just clicked. And he still tried to call me after that, try to talk to me, but he was like doing what his mom said. I don't freaking know. That's what I dropped. So eventually we ended up, I just told him, you don't want to hang out with me, like you don't know what you're doing, then like, I'm not doing this. Like, I'm not good enough for you. You think my kids aren't good at, like, you think we'll be too much for your life, then so be it, you know? Recently I did look him up on Facebook, and he has a really pretty girlfriend, and good for him. But we just stopped talking. I just wasn't going to deal with that. And clearly, if my kids are ever an issue or a problem for someone, which he never even met them, but you're going to listen to your mom and they're going to be an issue, then I don't even care. I'm so glad it didn't work out, because I'd rather it not work out right now than, you know, moving in together and, you know, and he would talk about stuff like that too. It just blew my freaking mind. I did meet a guy in prison. Well, I didn't actually meet him. He messaged me on Facebook. Freaking Facebook. That is, used to just be my family. Now everybody just comes out of anywhere. This one's good. So I get a message last November, and it was before Thanksgiving. And he's like this Hispanic guy, tattoos on his face, but he's like very attractive, and then he's like, hey, what are you doing? Usually I don't pay no attention to anybody. So, but I was like, okay. I'll just talk to him. You know, it's Thanksgiving and my kids were doing something and I was like on their Chromebook, messing around, just looking at stuff, I think music or something, I don't know. And it was the end of the night. Him and I just started talking, and we started talking every day, and I'm not thinking he's in prison because he's calling me. Actually, we would FaceTime. So, and then he was like, hey, I gotta tell you something. And I'm like, yeah, I'm in prison. Wait, what? I'm in prison. And I have a cell phone I'm not supposed to have. Huh? I've never been in trouble in my life. I never have been in jail, prison, jail, whatever. But there he was. So I ended up talking to him for a while. I would talk to him every day. But I think it was just someone to kind of talk to because, you know, I don't know. You get kind of lonely. Like I said, I've been single for quite some time, and I don't know. And there was like a friendship there. Like he was just really nice. But he wanted to get married. Mind you, I'd never met him. And that kind of scared me, and I just told him I wasn't ready. And then we just stopped talking, and he acted like he got locked down for like 6 months. I got a message recently from a girl. It was like, my mother-in-law is marrying said person, and I was told that you talked to him. And I was like, what? So he was just looking for someone to marry so you could have those little visits that you do stuff. Dodged a bullet. I think besides that, no one, one other person that I talked to. So there was, and this was on the dating site, this guy who was attractive, but he was like really nice, business guy, you know, around my age, and him and I started talking a lot. Then we got on the phone and we just laughed the whole entire time. He was like, the way you look and your personality just don't match, like, because I do have a foul mouth. I mean, that's just who I am. Sometimes I say stuff before thinking, and I don't know, that's just me. I can't pretend to be someone who I'm not. So foul words come out of my mouth. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a tired, angry mom. Who freaking knows? So him and I talked for, I want to say like a few weeks, and then we stopped talking, and I was like, well, where did he go? And he was like a real estate agent. He like bought homes and twisted them, flipped them. And then, but once we first started talking, he started talking about his freaking money. He showed me pictures of his house that I never asked to see. And I was like, no, he's probably one of those that like, and I kept brushing it off. Like, I don't care what you have, dude. Like, that just doesn't impress me, you know? Like, I think that's amazing. Those are straight freaking goals. But, like, I'm not gonna be like, woed and let you treat me a certain way because of what you have. I don't know if that's what he's trying to do, but that's how kind of I took it. So we stopped talking, and I was like, where did you go? And I was like, hey, it is what it is. And then like 5 months, 6 months later, I hear from him again. And then